I'd like to welcome and thank some of our special guests and our veteran organizations who are with us today. The James J. Peters VA Medical Center, the New York City Veterans, Bronx Veterans Center, Easter Seals New York Veterans Program, the New York City Human Resource Administration, American Legion Post Co-op City 1871. Again, I'd like to welcome our men and women in uniform, active guard, reserve, most of all to all the proud veterans and families joining us today. It is truly an honor and a privilege to be with you as we celebrate a little early this year. Each year, on the 11th day of the 11th month, we pause as the United Nations to pay tribute to our U.S. military veterans. It is our way as a united people to say thank you, to honor those generations who have served in the United States of America with fine distinction. Just over a week ago, my family laid wreaths at Calverton National Cemetery to remember a man who was personally closer to me than any other man. He was known as my father, Andrew Don King Jr., better known as Pops. I want to thank each and every one of you who sent your condolences, your flowers, your cards, your food baskets, your fruit baskets, your baskets to the baskets. And thank you, our family, which is sitting here at table 2, was truly grateful and honored. And my mom was really overjoyed. Bernice King, can we just give it up for Mom Bernice King? So thank you for that. And for those of you who have been asking the question, I don't know if anyone remembers the Cosby Show. And there was an episode where Claire Huxtable had to get to a reunion. And she did everything to fit into that dress. Well, I did everything I could do to fit into Pop's uniform when he served in Korea. So, after leaving his final resting place, my thoughts advanced to today to celebrate and thank our veterans on behalf of the residents of the 12th Council District. I can't thank you enough for your service to this country, and I want you to know that your sacrifice will never be forgotten. I'm going to ask everyone just to put their hands together for all the veterans who have served to protect this country. Right now, I'm going to ask those of you who can, please rise to your feet for the Pledge of Allegiance and the singing of the Star Spangled Banner, presented by PS 153 Color Guard.
say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we held at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red flame, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave, the brave.
Thank you, Jermaine. Thank you, PS 153. Everyone, please, can have a seat. At this point in time, I'd like to acknowledge a number of special guests who joined us today. First of all, one of our sponsors for today, Health First. We want to thank Health First for joining us today and making this day possible. To come say a few words, please.
Thank you, everybody, for being here, and my salute as well for our veterans. It's an opportunity, is open enrollment, as many of you know, and it's an opportunity to talk about, see if any changes, if you're members, if you have unions, you're probably better off. But it's a few of you that I already know, some that I might meet later on after lunch. So thank you, everyone, and have a great weekend. Thanks again.
Thank you. More importantly, I'd like to thank my colleagues in government who've taken time out of their busy schedule. As you know, at this time of the year, especially a couple of days away from Election Day, we are all over the place. Because we need to be all over the place and be in our neighbors and our districts. To let the people know what they need to do. They need to vote. They need to show up to the polls. So I'm grateful to have a number of representatives here from the state as well as the New York City Council. First, I'd like to acknowledge and ask her to come up to the mic. Our leader in the New York City Council. Please put your hands together for the Speaker of the New York City Council, the Honorable Melissa Mark Riverito.
Good morning to everybody.
Good morning.
Buenos dias. And I want to thank Andy for inviting me here today. Every time I come to Co-op City, and these days it's bittersweet. Growing up, my grandfather lived here for well over 40 years. And I used to come from Puerto Rico every summer, pretty much to New York City. We always used to spend some time here in Co-op City. He was also a veteran of the U.S. Navy and served during World War II. And my father, who enlisted, having been born and raised in New York City, at the age of 18, enlisted in the Army and was deployed for several years. So a lot of history that I have with this city and with this area and with our veterans community. So I really want to thank Andy for inviting me here so that I could just say a few words of appreciation for all that is done on behalf of our country, of our city, by our veterans, the contributions that are made each and every day. And also, obviously, I was talking to Andy the other day, expressing my condolences for the loss of his father. But as he spoke about him so fondly, about his love for his community and love for young people. And obviously that has rubbed off on you, because I know that is an incredible passion of yours to uplift our young people, and we see it throughout all the programs that you organize. And the City of New York, and the City Council in particular, has had a really close working relationship with our veterans community. Through the advocacy of the council, now we don't have just a mayor's office of Veterans Affairs, we actually have a department of Veterans Affairs in the City of New York, thanks to the advocacy of our council colleagues, of legislation that we passed in the City of New York, and that also through our discretionary dollars that we're able to invest your taxpayer dollars into initiatives that support our veterans community. So when we talk about mental health support, we do provide money for those initiatives and others. And really the importance of the Department of Veterans Affairs to provide aggressive and sustained services for our veterans community is something that I'm really proud of as I am leaving office, some of the proud work that we've been able to do under my leadership. So just wanted to come by here and express that, and thank you to Andy for all that he does on behalf of his district, on behalf of his community and the city, right? Oh, you all know you have a great representative in Andy King, right? So everyone, thank you so much to our distinguished veterans for your contributions. It's always an honor to be able to celebrate you, not only on Veterans Day, but throughout the year. So thank you so much. Have a great rest of the celebration. All right, enjoy your day.
Also, I'd like to bring up, I'm just going to ask all my colleagues in government to come up if they want to say some words, because we're kind of on time. So I'm going to call up Deputy Borough President of the Boogie Down Bronx, Madam, the Honorable Aurelia Green, New York City Council Members Rory Lanceman, New York City Councilman Richie Torres, New York City Council Member Andrew Cohen, and the Senator of this Co-op City area, the Honorable Jamal T. Bailey. And representing Congressmember Elliot Engel, Maxine Sullivan. And I see Natalia's walked in from the governor's office. Come on up here, Natalia. Also from Scott Stringer's office, we need to make sure that we always recognize the office that keeps the money flowing. Come on up here, Brother Michael Lambright, Deputy Controller. Brother Alex Wentz from Speaker Carl Hasty's office. And Joshua Adams representing Assemblymember Michael Benedetto. Anderson Ortiz from, Alex is, all right, so I'm going to pass the mic, and I would love for those to say a few words, especially starting with our Deputy Borough President representing the entire Boogie Down Bronx.
Good morning, everyone. Isn't this a beautiful day? And Andy, you're doing a fantastic job. I'm here representing Borough President Ruben Diaz Jr., who could not be here physically, but he's here spiritually. And I want to thank you all for including us. We're with you 100%. God bless you all.
Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. It's still morning, right? So, State Senator Jamal Bailey, I want to thank Councilmember King for making sure that he recognized the veterans every single year without fail. I also want to congratulate you on your resiliency. It's not that easy to lose somebody so impactful and instrumental and be able to put on his uniform proudly and stand here strongly. So I think the King family deserves another round of applause for that. Cliches are cliches because they're true. When they say freedom isn't free, it's reality, right? The men and women who protect us, for people like me who never served a day of my life in the military, I thank you for what you've done. I thank you for what you continue to do and what the members of the armed forces continue to do right now. Thank you all. God bless.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Councilmember Andy Cohen. I too just want to thank Councilmember King for bringing us together today. I really, the opportunity to honor the commitment and sacrifice of our veterans should never be passed up and should never be forgotten. So I really want to thank everybody for their service. I do also really have to acknowledge the loss that Councilmember King has gone through in his family and still being able to bring us all together. So I'm very grateful for everything that's the sacrifice on everybody's part to get us here together, and thank you very much for having me.
It's an honor to be here. I'm Councilman Richie Torres. My colleague Andy King, I think the name goes with the man because he's been a king of public service. But before he was the Honorable Andy King, before he was Councilman Andy King, he is and will always be the product of his father. And I'm sure that's where you get your infectious passion for public service. And our veterans are the courageous few who are able and willing to risk their lives and their limb to defend the right of every person in this room to pursue happiness in a free society. So God bless all of our veterans. And I know your father's looking down with pride because he knows that you're honoring him not only with the words you speak, but with the public-spirited way in which you live your life. So God bless you.
Hello, my name is Maxine Sullivan. I represent Congressman Elliot Engel, who couldn't be here. But I just want you to know that the congressman wanted me to say that he respects the veteran. That's one of his hearts on his program. And if there's anything that he can do, just give us a call, and you have our numbers, okay? And thank you so much, Andy King, as always.
Good morning, Corp City. How are you? It's always a great pleasure to be with you. My name is Alex Wint, representing the Office of Assembly Speaker Carl Hasty, and I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out this morning to join Andy King and staff as we honor our veterans past and present. So please give them a round of applause. Today I'd just like to reiterate a theme which I think we all hold true and dear, and that is we are thankful and grateful for your service and dedication to our country, and to remind you that we, your local and elected officials in government, as well as your friends, neighbors, and family, that we stand beside you 100% for anything you need. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Natalie Fernandez. I'm the Bronx representative to Governor Cuomo. I want to say thank you all for having me this morning. Thank you, Councilman King, for bringing us all together and for letting us thank each and every one of you for your service, for your dedication to this country. The governor sends his regards, and he's working for you every day. So God bless you all. God bless your father. My condolences, and have a wonderful day.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Joshua Adams, representing Assemblyman Michael Benedetto's office. And on behalf of our office and myself, as a veteran myself for the Marine Corps, I thank you for your service and support for our nation as well. And I thank Councilman Andy King for organizing and supporting this event and supporting veterans as well. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Michael Lambert. I'm the Deputy Comptroller of Public Affairs in the Office of New York City Comptroller Scott M. Stringer, who sends his greetings. Unfortunately, the Comptroller could not be here himself this morning. I want to thank all the men and women. I see a lot of women out there wearing their military colors. Thank you all for your service, because you're the ones that have actually fought to allow us to be here in freedom. And I think that basically it's not one day, it's every day. And I want to also extend my deepest condolences to the council member who lost his father, and also for thanking you for convening this great event. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Thank you. We're going to just want to get a photo because I know some of us are on a stricter clock than others. Thank you. Let's put our hands together again for our elected leaders for the city of New York. Those of you who can stick around, thank you as long as you can. So now, as we get into the part of the program where we talk about our veterans, I just recently learned when my dad passed away, when I was living in Colorado, and when I went out there, he had willed me a jacket, and I looked at the jacket to only hear the story. He served in Korea, and only when he was serving in Korea, after doing the night watch, when he wasn't a night watchman, he was also a player on the United States Army team, and he also coached as well. And in 1960, that Army team won the championship that I never knew, and he has the United States Championship jacket. So Pops, again, thank you for being a great leader, and not only in the Boogie Down Bronx, but over in Korea as well. So let's get to the heart and soul of today. Before the United States came to be, we have witnessed countless men and women, blacks, whites, Native Americans, free men and women, runaway slaves, come forward to serve for freedom. In days whenever America came under attack, our U.S. veterans have risen to her defense. Whenever our freedoms have come under attack, U.S. veterans have rose to the call with tenacity. Countless times at home, overseas, our veterans and their families have sacrificed to protect the promise of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Today, on behalf of the 12th Council District and the City of New York, I say thank you. And again, next Friday, our nation as a whole will express its gratitude, keeping in mind that no ceremony, parade, hug, handshake is enough to justly honor your service. For that, we must do more. For that, we must commit this day and every day to serving you as well as you served us. As a council member with oversight over lawmaking abilities, I wanted to share 3 important matters of policy we have been working on during the city council session with our speaker, Melissa Viverito, that is in support of our veteran community. First, we need more extensive and systematic veteran services in the city, and I was proud to vote for Intro 314 in 2015, which established an official city agency to provide services for our servicemen and women. Next, I authorized legislation, Reso 1196, urging the United States Congress to pass and the President to sign the Fairness of Veterans Act 2016, H.R. 4683, and the Senate 1567, which honors soldiers for suffering with PTSD or TBI by ensuring they receive reasonable discharge to help them move on with their lives. On this, we can claim another victory. Let me tell you something, folks. We submitted this resolution. I asked the President to sign it, and one of the greatest presidents, number 44, signed it into law, and we were able to establish the Fairness for Veterans Act. Finally, I was so happy in June to vote in favor of a bill, Intro 1304. That is, the council had passed expanding a real property tax exemption program available to veterans for their primary residencies, which provides for a reduction in asset value to veterans who serve during a time of war, with additional reductions available to veterans who serve in combat zones and disabled veterans. And there is so much more that the City Council is doing for our veterans. It's our way of thanking our veterans for all our wars, and God bless.
Good afternoon, everyone. First and foremost, I want to thank the councilman for putting this together to honor our veterans. Just by way of disclosure, I'm originally from Nigeria, but I served in the United States Air Force. I also want to thank everyone for coming. I see this as our event because our office is right next door. So I thank the councilman for bringing the event to our building. Just a way of remembrance, we need to realize that what we are having today was meant to be the end of all wars when the treaties were signed in 1918, November 11th. But as we all know, that happens to be the beginning of the war because we call it World War I. After that, we have so many other wars and we're still in war. But I think there is need to clear the ground that for those of us that signed to defend the country, we really did not sign to die. It's an erroneous information. Then you could have said we're committing suicide. So we didn't serve to die, we served to protect the country. And I also want to appreciate all the elected officials that were here, that there is one thing you can do for the veterans, it's about our benefits. So many people are losing out on their benefits. Some people are being marginalized in it. So you stand in a position of making those policies that could give us back what we earn, what we have served for. And that is my challenge for each and every one of you that are in position of authority. So once again, I want to thank the councilman who has deemed it fit to honor the veterans in his own way, and I believe each and every one of us will do that as well. So thank you for coming. I also want to just send our words of condolence to the councilman who has just lost his father. You know, when it hits home, it is different. When you see it on TV, you read about it in the news, it's different from when you're actually the one that is involved. So on this note, I just want to use this as an opportunity to actually pay tribute to those ones that we lost. Is Feliciano here? No? Okay. So I want to point our attention to what we do, especially when we have individuals in our midst that are not here. It's not everybody that go to war that actually comes back, and we know that. But that doesn't mean they desire to do that. So we're paying tribute to those ones that are not here, especially since the councilman just lost his own dad, who was also a veteran. So some of us will see this table that is set before you here. You might be wondering what it is all about. So this afternoon, I believe by the time you leave here, peradventure, thank you. It's okay. By the time you leave here, you'll be able to tell us well what we're doing. So before we begin, this is a ceremony that we always conduct for individuals that are not here. We remember, as we know, that some of them might be prisoners of wars or they might be missing in action, but towards the comrades that are able to make it, we always appreciate them. So I want to call your attention to this small table, which occupies a place of dignity and honor. It is set for one, just for one, symbolizing the fact that members of our armed forces are missing from our ranks. They are referred to as prisoners of wars or missing in action, and we call them comrades. They are unable to be with their loved ones and families. So we join together this afternoon to pay humble tribute to them and to bear witness to their continued absence, as we also recognize for the loss of Andy King Jr. The table is small, as you can see, but it symbolizes the frailty of one prisoner alone against his or our own suppressor. On this table, there is a tablecloth which is white. It's a symbol of purity in the intentions to respond to their country's call for arms. Then on this table you also find we have a rose. This rose is the vase that signifies the blood that they have shed in sacrifice to ensure the freedom of our beloved country, United States of America. We also have red ribbon that is on the base. We have slice of lemon. We also have salt on this table. When we come for dinner, we have glass cup, but if you see this glass cup is inverted, telling us to show that we recognize somebody should have been using that glass cup. We have the candle, which is reminiscent of the light of hope, which lives in our hearts to illuminate their way home, away from their captors, and to open arms of a grateful nation. Then we also have the American flag, which reminds us that many of them will never return, and they have paid the supreme sacrifice to ensure our freedom. So when you see a table like this, I want you to remember there is always an empty chair. So this time I want to call the councilman who is going to come forward.
Thank you. And at this time as well, as we pay honor to Pops, I'd like to ask Senator Jamal Bailey to come to the mic, please.
I wanted to, as we observe this solemn moment, I wanted to make sure that I was able to recognize the life and legacy of Andrew Don King Jr. He was much more than simply a veteran. He was a community leader, and as I've remarked at many community occasions, I knew of Andy King Sr. before I knew of Councilmember Andy King and what he had done for young men in the community that I've grown up in. So, as a resident of the district, forgetting about being an elected representative, I owe him a debt of gratitude. So I would like to present this certificate to the King family, specifically Ms. Bernice King. If you would like to come on up, Ms. King, and accept this honor in honor of your incredible late husband. Please give Ms. King a round of applause. We can do better than that. So I would just like to present this to you, Ms. King, on behalf of my office and myself, in debt and gratitude for what he accomplished in physical form and what he continues to accomplish as he watches over us. God bless you, Ms. King.
Now I call on Ms. Clayton to come up.
Thank you, Togo. I'm going to ask the King team to please come forward. I'm going to ask the head of the King team to please come forward. As part of the dedication, Andrew Don King Jr., better known to all of us as Pops, he meant a whole lot to us. He was our Pops as well. Okay. And
There's no words or expression that we know can fill the void that you must feel right now and what we all feel. But we want to give you a token of love that you could wear around your neck and over your heart in memory of your father.
Well, I'll be. I don't know how y'all did this one, but these are my dad dog tags. Wow. That is something special. Yeah, it's close to my heart, and before I start breaking down and turn into a 3-year-old up here, I want to say thank you to the King team for your love, your commitment, and helping us serve, but all that Pops has done. At this point, I just want to take a little bit of privilege for just to tell a story or two. I'm going to ask my oldest brother Mike to come on up to the microphone. And as children who, if you grew up in a military house, these things just happen differently. So, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for my brother, Big Mike.
Good afternoon, everyone. Put me on the spot again. I got a bit of a potty mouth, so I'm gonna talk real slow so I don't make any mistakes. But my father was a great man, and the lessons that he's instilled in us, they're lifetime. I'm 58 years old. I don't talk back to my mother. I don't. I'm 58. Now, I may not listen all the time, but I don't talk back to my mother because it happened once. It happened once, and it's probably one of those trick questions. You calling me a liar? You know. And, but father came home, took me in the room, no corporal punishment or anything like that, talked to me, and I've never argued with my mother. I'm 58. To this day, I still don't. I don't always listen, but I show her the utmost respect. He taught me that. You know it was military because we were just talking the other day. We used to run around the house. I mean, just off the walls, bouncing back and forth. And it didn't matter what time it was or how cold or how hot, he would get us up in the middle of the night or middle of the day or whatever it was. He would take us outside and we would be doing calisthenics, man, jumping jacks, squat thrusts, whatever. He worked us until he thought he burned off all the energy, let us back in the house. He settled down and we started playing again, It didn't work. There's other lessons, there's so many. I'll tell you a story. Because, he just passed away, so I've been reflecting. A lot of things been going on in my mind. But one time, he came and got me. He must have been maybe about 8 or 9. And there was a store we used to always go to. It used to be Mr. Mark's. Then a guy named Tommy took it over, so it was Tommy's. And he came and got me because he got in some squabble with Tommy, and Tommy wouldn't give him his stuff. And so I go over to the store. I said, Tommy, what's going on? Now I'm about 14, 15 years old. And Tommy said, he cursed at me. Right? I was like, what? I said, I looked at him, I'm 15, 14, whatever it was. I said, that's a grown man. You don't curse at a grown man. 15 years old, I knew that. That's because of the person he was. And I was able at 15 to put him straight. I said, you have to go in there and apologize. You do not disrespect your elders. And I wasn't no angel. I mean, I got into a lot of trouble. But I knew there were certain things you couldn't get away with and walk in that house. Sit at the dinner table, knowing that you did something that was just unbelievable. And these are the things that I kept. And I'm 58, and I swear to you, I do not disrespect my parents. I love my siblings. I love my family. He was a special person. And I believe this. I'm pretty sure he didn't want us to be in the military, and I don't say that with any disrespect, because I think it's a very special and honorable person who serves their country. It's an honor, and it's something that's within each individual that does that, and he had it. That's it.
Thank you, big bro. As Sean Francois would say, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready.
So, for ladies and gentlemen, I know we got our veterans, and this is the first time, it'll probably be one of the last time, but I do want to just recognize my family that's here. My sister Lisa was there, standing up. Lisa, you can just wave. My daughter Victoria, my niece, Princess, and of course, the matriarch of the family, Miss Bernice King. And I want to give a shout out, my colleague in government media, Assembly Member Victor Pachado. Let's give it up for Victor Pachado.
United States Army. United States Air Force. United States Navy. The last but not the least, the Marine Corps. Can we have the lights now? Hand salute. Ready, two. Thank you very much, and we just want to appreciate you once again for being part of this service. Let us all remember the reason why we're gathered. I want to appreciate members of the American Legion. For some of us that are here, can you please rise? American Legion, if you're a Legionnaire, please rise. Let's give them a round of applause. Those individuals have kept the spirit here, and I want to use this opportunity also to reach out to veterans in our midst that are yet to be part of American Legion. The door is open unto you. We have one big family. Let's come together. We're in room 41 right here. So please, when you see a veteran out there, just show, by way of extension, thank you unto them. And we appreciate the councilman once again. Thank you for your service. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Brian Melford, Special Assistant to Councilmember Andy King. And at this time, I would like to make a special presentation on behalf of the King team to the King family.
Toba, I would love for you to close this out, but I just wanted to say thank you to each and every one of you who made today possible. The King team, River Bay, the volunteers, more importantly, all the veterans who served, whether it was in Korea or Vietnam or World War II. I don't know if we got any ones in here, but there have been many places from Iraq and all across Saudi Arabia that we serve. So I want to say thank you to each and every one of you. And as my pops at Bernice King, I just want to thank the First Lady of the 12th District, my loving wife who helps me get some things done on every other day. Come on in here, little lady. Miss Neva Shillingford King. Someone grab. This is the First Lady. Thank you. Thank you for helping us organize and keeping things together. So I wanted to let everybody know she is an intricate part of making the 12th District work. And if you need an organizer, this is the queen of organizing. So God bless you and love you. Thank you. So as we always like to conclude with a prayer, I'm not going to be a pastor today, but I know we got some spiritual words and people who got some wisdom now. Who can close us out in prayer? Everyone raise their hand at the same time. Thank you, my sister. There you go. She said, I stay ready, so I have to get ready.
I'm Juice Richardson from the Army and American Legion, post 1871. Okay, moment of silence, please. Father God, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for this event. We thank you for the King family. We thank you for all who have come and represented our American family who have fought, served, and are here today. For the loved ones who have passed away, the POWs, and everyone else involved. We thank you for waking us up this morning. We thank you for this event, and we hope to continue this event in your name, in the precious name of Jesus. Amen. Amen.
I believe there are some refreshments in the back. I was told to remind y'all of 3 things. Next Tuesday is Election Day. Make sure you get out and vote. Second thing on the ballot, not only are we voting for the mayor, controller, public advocate, city council, there are 2 items that are on the ballot for voting. One is the Constitutional Convention, that they're trying to open the Constitution, and once you open up the Constitution, all types of things are subjected to change. I'm letting you know what's on there. Please vote. For me, I'm voting no, because I don't want to see it open. I don't want to see your pensions go away. I don't want to see people manipulate what has kept us stable. So I urge you to make sure you vote, because if you do not vote, it's a yes vote for the people who are organizing it to get it open. So I would urge everyone to vote no on that. And secondly, there's another piece on there. It's asking the public, if a public official gets convicted of a crime and a felony, they can lose their pension. That's up to you, whatever you think. But I'm asking you all, make sure that you read your ballot from the front to the back and make sure that you vote. Please do not go in there and do not vote. Vote on something, and I urge you to vote no against the Constitutional Convention. God bless, and we look forward to seeing everybody at the New Year's Day 12th District Ball happening at the Eastwood Manor on January 1st. God bless. And ladies and gentlemen, before you go, do me one favor. I just all on three, I just all want y'all to say happy birthday, because today is my mother's birthday. Let's give it up for Mom. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday!